when you invest in something like employee training, e-learning, whatever it is, you want to know that if you need to make changes to it in the future, that you can easily do it. So today, we're going to tell you how to develop employee training that is easily updated.
Welcome to the eLearning Partners channel, where we have a free masterclass that is linked below. So when you develop employee training or e-learning or online course, you know how to do it successsually every single time. So the first
you know where to start,
how
you know where to go.
How to develop an employee training that is easily updated is what?
The
Mr.
first thing
Johnny.
is you really do need to make it micro.
Micro, it comes from the Greek word.
Micro learning. So, and when we say micro learning, we're not necessarily meaning that you need to use a fancy authoring tool and create a micro learning.
Yep.
If you want to, fine, do it. But what we mean by do it by breaking it down, by taking that 10-hour subject and breaking it down into 5-minute segments. Then in the future, when you need to update it, all you have to do is find that micro learning piece. All right, let's pretend.
Give me a piece.
Pretend that this is the course. This line is the course. So instead of having to update the whole thing, you're like, oh God, we have to change this one figure. What are we gonna do? We're gonna take this whole thing and update. No, all you have to do is take one little piece of it, that micro piece, and update that.
Exactly, without having to re-record the whole dang thing. The second thing is implementing a content management system. Now, before kind of breaking it down a little bit more technically, well, the biggest thing with the CMS for short is you get to see everything, the subject matter experts, the types of content, lengths of content, everything in one place. One of the biggest challenges, especially when you want to update something, is that if you do not have an organized system, if you do not know where content files are, if you do not know who was involved or who is involved with that respective content, then it's going to be very difficult and very time consuming to update. And you just may have to redo it as a whole because it's taking you so much dang time just to figure out how to update this one little piece. So having a clean CMS with everything structured and organized will allow you to update things instantaneously.
And the simple way to look at this is basically a detailed outline of your course. We recommend that if you're not invested in a content management system software, to use Google Sheets or Excel. This is what we use. We prefer it because it gives us the freedom of not having to rely on
Freedom!
an e-learning platform and e-learning technology. So we just use Excel or Google Sheets. What you're gonna do is you're basically every row of the Google Sheet is gonna be a piece of content. And then in the columns, you can kind of have the columns be whatever you want. You're gonna want the content name, you're gonna want the number, like a module number, so that you can keep track of it. And you're gonna want a status column so you know what needs to be updated and what doesn't. So when you lay it out like this, you can add whatever you want to the other columns. You're able to see a snapshot of the whole program. So instead of scrubbing through the whole program of these hundreds of micro learnings, you just look at it in one place, look at it, and then you can make changes to the individual micro learning.
And the other beautiful thing about doing it this way on Excel or Google Sheets is that this is searchable as well. So you can Command F, and especially as you build out and have hundreds of micro learnings, you can do an easy Command F, make it searchable so you know. Also, there's filter options
You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, which is why we want to make agnostic content. Agnostic content, because we want to pump it up. What is agnostic content, Hector?
So agnostic content means that no matter who your subject matter expert is, if they decide to leave the company or if something happens, you could still utilize that content even if they are not there. And there's many ways that you could do that. From the micro learning from a video perspective side, if you have the person's voice, even if the subject matter expert is on camera the whole entire time, if they decide to leave the company and you as an organization don't want that subject matter's face to still be in that content, but their audio, what they're saying is still relevant, you could add B-roll, you could add slides, you could add graphics, so you don't have to reshoot everything. All you have to do is cover up the subject matter expert with graphics and B-roll footage.
So think long term. When you're creating that content, think long term. think, okay, well, if Martha here decides to go to Hawaii and retire in the next 5 years, and we don't want her to be the face of the brand, how do we go about this? Are we okay having their audio? Do we have the rights to use the content? So agnostic content means when you're developing it, think about the long term. Don't think about the short term, like, okay, well, this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut corners. No, think about the long term use of it so you don't have to spend the money on developing this again. So that all you have to do is make tweaks in your content management system, and it's easy to do that because it's micro.
We thank you for being here. Thanks for the likes and the subscribes. Drop us a comment if you have a question or an idea, and we'll get back to you.